Hey everybody, it's Rachel from Wraps by Rachel, and I realized that I had set aside glue book number 3 to do a video, and then I never got around to doing the video. I finished this book towards the end of August, and it's November now, but it's still lots of fun, so let's just take a look. A lot of what I have used is actually from Highlights magazine, of all things. I have a coworker named Susan whose daughter receives Highlights, and when she's done with the magazine, she graciously brings that in for me. And so I have a lot of fun images from that, as well as from just a bunch of other different sources. This book is actually just a composition notebook that I got at the Dollar Tree. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm making sure that everything is kind of nicely in frame here. So here, obviously, I was just kind of playing with color. I have some little snippets from I had ordered from a company called Natural Life, and this was just like from some packing material from them. This is also from Natural Life, this little piece here as well. This is some tea that I had bought at the Dollar Tree, and just like some makeup advertisements. And I think this was from, drawing a blank on which magazine that's from, but it's from a magazine that just tends to have, you know, kind of lots of different sort of crafty kinds of things in it. And so that's that one. Okay, so once again, I'm kind of playing with, instead of purple, I'm playing more with the color pink. And what I really like here is I love this like milkshake with the fun straw, and I love this ice cream sandwich going on here. This is actually from Artichoke, right? It's not from a magazine, but I glued it down because I liked the color, and I just kind of liked everything about it. It was around the like the stem of the artichoke, just to so that the cashier can scan it easily. I love here I thought that the little unicorn, you are magical and one of a kind, and we're stalking the fastest unicorns. I just thought all of this really kind of went together quite nicely. Okay, so this one, let's see if I can kind of get this just a little bit better in frame. So there was like some sort of an advertisement for a test for Gaucher's disease. And it was like, boy, if, you know, the whole advertisement was like, if you get your doctor to test you for this. And, you know, it's like, really? Okay. I just was so struck by it. It just seemed so kind of bizarre. So I cut that out, and I thought that that kind of went with this doctor here with the star stethoscope, and all the people are like, yay for the doctors and all of their book knowledge. And this is actually from an advertisement about like cell phones, like maybe for like Apple iPhone or something along those lines. And this is actually from a pizza box, of all things. There's like a local pizza company, and they've kind of got strange things on their pizza box. And this is just a little piece from a tea, like a tea bag. Okay, so this, I kind of like this little test tube with the blood, because we're testing for the Gaucher's disease. This is also, and this here also from the pizza box. Okay, so now here I am just being quite silly. This was an advertisement for Kohler. They make like faucets and sinks and stuff like that, and it just kind of emphasized all of the Dachshunds, the dogs, and it just was just so weird. And so I stuck this, your employee treated my boss as a jerk. Hi, Karma. Karma's coming over to say hi. He thinks I'm, you know, once again, he thinks that I'm talking to him. He has to be part of everything, right? Your employee tweeted, my boss is a jerk. Too bad. And this is from like a magazine that came out of like Australia. Here's like another little tea thing. And I just thought that the colors and just the overall feeling of weirdness was just really, really something for all of this. Carmen, come on. Okay. So for this particular spread here, I really liked the buildings and just kind of like this sort of structure kind of going on. And I kind of like this. That is just one heck of a brownie or a cake that kind of got put together, and it just reminded me of like the layers of like the buildings. And also, Karma baby, you're gonna have to move. It also just reminded me of the same color scheme, so just kind of went with that. I think that this was from some sort of magazine, like a travel magazine, and they were talking about, I think this is the skyline of Birmingham, and it says Alabama right here. And I just put a bunch of crazy stuff on here, kind of combined some different things. I have no idea where this came from, but it was some sort of a statistic that lesbians are 25% less likely than straight or bi women to get, and I forget what it said, but it might have been something like depression or something along those lines. And I combined it with the urine trouble because I just thought that it just probably says more about my sense of humor than anything else. And I stuck the enjoy breakfast any time of the day because what a fantasy to be able to eat, like the coconut brownie cake thing here for breakfast. Karma just really wants to be involved in everything here today. Such a good baby. Okay, come on, why don't you go over here? And I'll pet you over here. Okay, so this is just kind of messing around with the color red and blue, and just a bunch of fun, different images. I liked the pirate stuff here from the Pirate's Booty, and I kind of combined this. This was some kind of other little sort of like nut snack pack sort of thing that they were, I thought that the ninja kind of, it just thematically felt kind of similar to the pirate over there. Okay. And so on this particular spread, I was going for just kind of like a farm, agricultural kind of feel. So we have the I think it's like vineyards here, and this is from like a seed magazine, and this was from like some sort of a wine advertisement, and this is also from like another I want to say that's from Mother Earth magazine about using the 3 sisters for growing stuff. And yeah, it's just kind of fun, and there we go. All right, now this spread is entirely from Highlights magazine. Just a couple of actually different issues of Highlights magazine. They have this these ugly birds as kind of recurring sort of like cartoon characters. And then this was something else about like a Native American sort of story. And then this other one, I think, was from a either Native American story or Aboriginal story. But all of it went together. And the only thing that's not from Highlights magazine that's on here is this is this sort of weirdo beekeeper kind of feel thing. It just felt like it belonged here because we've got the yellow and the yellow and the yellow here, and it just kind of worked in my mind. This is from some sort of like a Tim Holtz kind of collection of various quotes, and I just relax, we're all crazy, it's not a competition. Okay, so once again, majority here from Highlights magazine, and then this is from like a beekeeping article that was in like Mother Earth, and I just kind of combined all that together. And then we have a couple of things from like various gardening catalogs. Okay, so this was Discover the Lost Art of Human Interaction. And so I stuck the robot hand on here, And I just kind of liked this little thing here about it's this UCLA study finds putting feelings into words, and then anyhow, like, well, there's just never a dull moment with Barbara. This looks pretty boring here, and she's challenging. Okay, all right, so this is from, there was some sort of like a special edition magazine about like fairy tales and interpreting fairy tales, and I've always kind of been fascinated by the story of Rapunzel. There's a lot of layers to the story of Rapunzel, where she saves herself with using her own mind and her own body, and that just is kind of fascinating to me. So I love this with the, the hair, and here we have, like instead of the hair coming down, and I highlighted that with some highlighters, and then I took the fire and I highlighted that as well. And I don't know, just women kind of doing interesting things and saving themselves and saving other people. And I was kind of interested in that as a theme. Okay, so here we have the next page, and here, this is from like the Timber Toes from Highlights Magazine. This is also, I guess Highlights Magazine now has like kind of advice that kids give to other people. And then I was just going with the color theme. So we had the yogurt and the tea, and this is from like some sort of a health magazine. This is also from like a kind of like a flavoring that you do for water, for drinking more water. And I was just kind of going with orange sort of as a theme. So I like how this page came together. Really, this is from like some sort of a tea that I bought down in like the gift shop or whatever at my hospital, and there we go. Okay, so here obviously I'm going with the color blue, and just kind of here's some things from Highlights Magazine. Again, this was from like a vegetarian style entree that I buy at like a health food store in my area called the Co-op, and up in Frederick, Maryland. And Fat Rabbit, their entrees are really, really quite good. I'm not vegetarian personally, but that is, they make some really delicious kind of like bowls with quinoa and different vegetables and stuff, and it's great. Okay, so this particular picture here with the art of this woman taking the picture, I think it's the same artist that has done this. It's very similar in style, but they were from different parts of a magazine that I was reading. And this, the look on her face, I think it just really went with the, how do I really know how I'm doing? We all sort of have some of these self-doubts and things like that. And by putting this one here, it's kind of like, I think we all sort of suffer from a little bit of what they call imposter syndrome, where it's like, do I really know what I'm doing? Am I just kind of faking it? Do other people realize that I, have some of these self-confidence issues and all of that? So, yeah, that was kind of the feeling that I was sort of going for here. And it's just, this person kind of looks judgy to me, and she's just kind of looking on, and maybe she thinks that, well, her garden is better than, what this person is doing with their garden. And, it's, as long as you're doing things that make you happy, and you don't have to make other people happy, you just have to make yourself happy. So you don't have to move. You don't have to do anything. Just, you can just exist, and that's okay. All right, so this spread here, This is actually from some like cherries, like a packaging for cherries. You know how they can come in that sort of plastic, sort of almost like Ziploc style bag. And I loved this. I just loved this blue-eyed fox. I loved the little drawings here of the cherries. And I just wanted to kind of do some like fun and exuberant and classy, sassy, little badassy kinds of things. And it just made me happy. Okay. So this particular one, I was kind of going for sort of like a apocalyptic, sort of, you know, science fiction-y kind of feel. And we have the birth of the resistance and the mix and revolution and, you know, protecting your data and, you know, is your data secure, and people are fighting, and the banks are trying to take over like an arrogant bastard, and it's just dystopian, and I just dig everything about it, you know. And some people are completely oblivious to, you know, the dystopia around you, right? So we have attitude is everything, pick a fight, don't fit in, and ally with other outcasts. And it just, I don't even remember where that came from, but I'm just digging it. Something fierce. Okay, here I'm playing around with the color green, and just found a bunch of things that just kind of, you know, weirdly I feel went together. Okay, here I'm playing with the color purple, and there's a lot going on here. It's, you know, I've never been shy about saying, you know, I've had a lot of depression issues in my life. And I love the color purple, but I do feel also on some level like the color purple to me feels linked with depression. Maybe it's because it's towards the dark end of the spectrum. I'm not sure. But purples can kind of also kind of be really uplifted into like a magenta, and that's kind of more energy and renewal and all of that. And tell me the story about how the sun loved the moon so much that he died every night to let her breathe. Wow, it just speaks to me. And just never forget that you're magic. Right. Okay, here I'm playing with the color orange, and the majority of this is from Highlights magazine. Here's part of the little things about, you know, kids asking other kids for advice or things along those lines. I don't remember where the strawberry jam came from, but anyhow, I just think this is lots of fun. Okay, here I'm playing with the color purple. I found this sort of purple zebra that's, I want to say that this was from an advertisement for like paint, like Sherwin-Williams or one of those sorts of companies. And these here are actually different paint strip swatches. And, you know, where will the color take you? But, you know, visionaries see their world in their own way. And I just thought that was a lot of fun. I thought that whoever came up with this sort of design was incredibly creative. Okay. Well, everyone loves fries. The numbers don't lie. If you did statistics, you'd see everybody loves fries, whether you're a robot or you're a cat or you're a person. It's just me being silly. Okay. So here we go. I was just kind of going with people who, you know, maybe aren't quite as thrilled in their life. You know, they want to be happier. Maybe someday we'll take a look around and come to the realization that the solutions were standing right beside us all along. You know, can we balance career and family, and, you know, ask somebody else for help? But, you know, she just looks like, like this just isn't what I thought was going to be in the brochure. You know, like this is not how I envisioned my life coming out, and the baby not being happy, and this person at the cocktail party being like, you're taking my picture, you know, just barely tolerating you. And this person at the work, you know, like with the headphone, and she's just not looking like she's having a great time either. Okay, so then this next one is just kind of me sort of playing around with food. This is actually from like a recipe from Highlights magazine. Kind of, it was all about different ways that you can kind of do corn on the cob. And then this was from some other food sort of magazine, building a burger. And then these people are fishing, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. All right, the majority of the stuff, actually all of the stuff on this page, these 2 pages here, is from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. If you have never been to Boston, if you've been to Boston, but you've never been to Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, oh my God, plan to spend an entire day there. It is just so stunning. Isabella Stewart Gardner, I guess, like, if I hate Paris Hilton, okay, but like if Paris Hilton was like in the turn of the century, then Isabella Stewart Gardner would have been like that. Like, so she was this famous socialite. She had all this money. She was very eclectic, but unlike Paris Hilton, she actually, you know, was trying to contribute to society and to the world. And she was a patron of the arts, and she just loved new art and modern art, and she loved combining new and old, and she just had all this crazy talent. And so she had this home that was almost like this palace kind of thing, like in the middle of Boston, and just has this beautiful atrium in the center of it, and each room and each floor just has just the most exquisite art from collections from all around the world in her travels and all of that. And so there's like these beautiful paintings. This is actually a painting that she commissioned of herself, and this painting, I mean, today is like very tame, but you know, the fact that she was showing cleavage was just like scandalous, absolutely scandalous. So she was kind of the scandalous person because she was, you know, she had a rockin' little body, and she didn't mind showing it off. And there they were, you know, in the sort of Victorian kind of era, and you just didn't show your cleavage like that. So, and you certainly didn't, you know, bring attention to your curvy waist like that and things along those lines. But anyway, so these are some different art that is there in the museum. Like, these are like some postcards, and this is from the brochure for the museum. And when I went to, I want to say it was in August, and I went to go visit my Aunt Betsy and stay at her house. I did a little day trip with my cousin Pamela, and we went to this museum. Pamela had never been there before, but I had, so this was my second trip, and I mean, I could go there once a year. It is just an absolutely fascinating place, and they have a very delicious restaurant in there. It's a little on the pricey side, but budget for it. It is worth it. Just delicious food. Anyhow, so I wanted to kind of commemorate that trip. All right, so it was the art from a MoMA visit, you know. And then this, I was kind of still going a little bit with the art theme. This is from like some Highlights magazine. This is my painting of a cat in Starlight, Robbie, age 8, right? And I just, you know, just kind of combined a bunch of different stuff. I was going with the color blue. And that's the end of my book. So hopefully you enjoyed me going through my glue book, and hopefully you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.